I'm glad y'all tuned in. We about to get this show started. Yeah. I'm glad y'all tuned in. We about to get this show started. Yeah. Dr. Clyde Winters and Yoshi. Then and now. We talking about back in the day and right now. Yeah. Then and now, then and now, then and now. Then and now, then and now.
Now let's introduce Yoshima the Genius and Dr. Clyde Winters, the godfather of research.
The godfather of research.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though?
Wow, what's happening, peoples? What's up, Hotep community? What's up?
Hey, you
Hey.
know, everybody, I'm glad to see you. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
You know what up? Karen Vincent.
What up,
What's
Karen?
up, Hotep Karen? Oh, Hotep Karen.
Twice.
Jocelyn. JP, what up, though?
JP
What up, though?
in the
We love
house.
you guys coming.
Love y'all.
And we hope we can give you a good show tonight because we want to discuss something. You know, I was listening the other day to Eve and Dewan B, and they were talking about what is the status of FBA, you know, ADOS and all that type of stuff. What do you think is the status of Black America, Yoshi?
Define the status. What you mean, like as far as our position and what we're doing, fighting the oppressor?
Yeah, I guess that's what they meant. Yes.
Well, for years, they have been in office and they have been behind government officials. They have been running things. They. And because we have gained our education and put ourselves in positions behind them, in a sense, I think we're in a good position of getting our essence back, especially being around them in high positions to where if we can take over on that education level, we can take this over. But in a position that we at as far as FBA, come on, man, you got many students from your class writing books. The truth is being written and exposed. So much positive stuff is coming from our community as far as art, creativity, technology. We are actually pulling everything together. That's what I see. I see us as a whole, and we just have a small bit of little weeds that we got to pluck out to keep our garden right. I think we're on the right track. I think we're on, especially since you here, Baba. So hey.
But you know, I agree, Yoshi, because see, a lot of people, they make a big mistake. They're always talking about, you know, it's not enough unity. Black people should be more unified. If Black people's more unified, Black people could get more out of the situation. But see, that's not necessarily true. And the reason that is not necessarily true is that it doesn't take a majority of people to do anything. You see, I like butter pecan ice cream. My wife, she used to like vanilla. Is she my enemy? We both in the same family. I like butter pecan ice cream. My grandson, he likes maybe chocolate ice cream. Are we enemies?
No.
No, we just had, in a sense, a disagreement, but we're still unified. And see, that's the way I see things. I see us as if we can unify in as small groups, and then small groups turn into larger groups. But if you expect everybody, I repeat, if you expect everybody to be on the same page all the time, you're not going to make it. You know, you're not going to make it.
Because I don't the end game is no matter where we depart from, no matter where we come from, no matter if you come from here, there, anywhere, underwear, you still have one person, or I'm sorry, not one person, one group of people that is attacking us as a whole. So if you don't consider yourself a unit and we're moving as a whole, they are. So when one of us speak up, they're like, nah, we got to shut that down, because if what they say, if we give a nigga an inch, nigga gonna take a yard.
We got to be that camel, baby. We got to be a
Come on.
camel in the tent. You know, it's like Karen Benzine, just like she said. But we have to stick together. She's absolutely correct.
Got to.
We have to stick together. But what we had to learn is we had to stick together as family. We have to stick together as individuals, and then we can form the larger group. Because see, as the genius Neely Fuller taught us, is that those days of trying to have one leader for the whole Black community, those days are gone. You know,
No.
those days are gone.
They take that right on out.
That's right. You have to, in a sense, in a sense, be a leader of everybody, but at the same time, you had to be ready, in a sense, to understand that you had to teach. Yes, Karen, we have to stick together, and we also have to teach.
We have to
teach each other.
Pete, the youngsters got that fire. And I know all of us youngsters, when we hear our history and we can feel that history, we want to do something about it, right? You feel like you can go against all of them. You're like, I'm a drop this song and I'm just gonna crack at this, crack at that. I mean, you going in. But at the end of the day, what does that do? You single yourself out.
Right.
You call yourself a leader, you single yourself out, and they're gonna do to you just like how they did to every last one of our leaders that we called someone that stepped up to the foreplate and was like, or the forefront, and like, man, we about to take over. We about to lead our people. This is what we're gonna do. And they never had that backup. They never had that one. I always wondered that growing up, like why Martin Luther King didn't have no one to like back him right on up. Why Malcolm X didn't have nobody like right there to, hey, I always wondered that. It's because we put them on that pedestal as that leader, and we go like this, and then when it falls, we're like, we're still like this. I don't know.
That's right. And if you remember, I know Netflix, they did a special on the fact that that Malcolm X was killed by some brothers in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they pointed out the fact that when he was on the stage, all of his security was either Army or police intelligence. All of his security was either Army or police intelligence. Therefore, in a sense, he was surrounded by enemies. But as Karen says, you had to be visible, and you had to in a sense try to teach each other. But as Marie Antoinette says, absolutely, we have to be as one. Be one, baby. Be one. Be one is the only way that we can become successful. But in understanding be one, a lot of it deals with a word that I know that we don't want to hear. And I tell you, when I was young, I didn't want to hear this shit. I didn't want to hear it.
What's
and
that?
that word, that word I didn't want to hear was, I didn't want to hear the word love. I didn't want to hear that word love, because when they talked about love back in my day, they said love is never having to say you're sorry. Love, you always hurt the one you love. I didn't want that ish. But now that I'm older, I understand, in a sense, is that we have to have love. We have to have love. And the reason that we have to have love is that we have to have love, in a sense, so that we can, in a sense, understand and be with one another. But see, the love begins with you loving yourself.
Yes.
You see? Because see, this is how I see the world, family. I see the world. I'll say, how you doing, Denise, Bruce, Maria, Maria? The thing is this: I see the world like this. I believe that in the Crystal City, I signed a contract with Amma, and in that contract, I said I will go down to earth, and I will incarcate X amount of people at X amount of times.
Right.
The reason I say more than one in Caucasian, one Caucasian, is because the fact is this is that I know that the way it is on this prison planet, if I went back to the Crystal City, I wouldn't come back down here. But again, so then therefore, because this incarnation, I'm Clyde Winters. I'm B1, baby, B1.
Me
I'm
too.
I'm gonna be the best B1 that I can be.
I got that fire, man.
I have to understand in a sense is that the ultimate goal of us on this planet is to love one another. But we can only love one another if we love ourselves. Mm-hmm. Then if we find a man or a woman that we love, and then when we love our children. Mm-hmm. All of this is important. What do you think about that, Yoshi?
Ooh, it's easy to hate.
Yes.
Very easy to hate. Easy to destroy. Very hard to build. Very hard to build. It's easy to run away.
Yeah.
It's very hard to stay.
Yeah.
It's easy to just make a conflict and separate and not talk. It's hard to talk it out and understand our faults and work it out.
Yeah.
We need communication with our spouse, with our children, with our loved ones. I didn't understand love, Baba Clyde. I was like you. Like, what is love? I was raised, it's a thin line between love and hate. Or what's love got to do with it? So yeah. I'm like, what is love? So you gotta, in my generation, I'm looking at it like it must be something wrong. Then when we're taught by robots and AI, they're like, what is love? Yeah. Take love out the equation. I was on TikTok, a dude said, forget your history and forget love, and then look at history without love. And I was like, how the hell you do that? How the fuck you do that? Explain to me that. But it's hurt people, it's broken people that have that broken heart. Yeah. I love my wife, man. I love my son. I love my mother. It's a unconditional love, Baba. It's a different kind of love. You spoke to my son today. My son, I cherish him. I love that dude, man. I want that dude. It hurts when I gotta discipline him sometime because that love. It hurts when me and my wife get into it, but see, me and my wife are best friends, so it's a different kind of love. This is like a friendship, and we got our son here, and we both got to take care of that little loved one. So yeah, unity is everything. Yeah. Karen, I feel you. They don't like us when we use our smarts on them. They tend to back off when we use our intellect. And especially when we bring love in, because I think that's what they lack, Baba. Yeah. I think they lack love.
They do lack love. And the reason that they lack love is because, as I talked the other day on my program about a couple of weeks ago, because the fact, in a sense, they come from a culture. They come from a culture where they had to eat each other. They were vultures. I mean, even when the Pilgrims came over, when they ran out of food, they ate the dead bodies in the cemetery. Right. But the thing is, this is that love is so powerful, and you grow up feeling, in a sense, as a black man, you grow up feeling that love is your enemy. Mm-hmm. You feel. I remember I was going to my grandma once, and I said, Grandma, I said, my cousin, he worked for the Urban League, in Chicago, and the Urban League, they could help you get jobs, all that type of shit. So I graduated from university. I had a BA, I had an MA degree. And it was hard to get a job because in Chicago, you had to know somebody or you had to pay a politician, even to become a teacher. Yes. So I was talking to my grandma, and I said, I wanted my brother to do this, my cousin to do this, do that. My grandma said, okay, Clyde, yeah, okay. Then she said, are you done yet? I said, yeah. She said, don't you ever complain again. She said, I don't like no whining black man. She said, you a man. Don't you ever whine to me again. Don't you ever come whining to no woman. I said, Grandma, your grandma. Wow. Anytime I ask you, you give me this, you give me that. You're always looking out for me. She said, yeah, I'm looking out for you. But I don't like no whining man.
Tough
You're
love.
A black man. I said,
Ooh.
"Hey, hell is this? It's supposed to be my grandma." But she was right.
Yeah.
As a black man, you got to always stand up. You got to
Mhm.
always be a symbol to your kids. You can't run to your kid and say, "Oh, I couldn't run to I got 5 sons and 1 daughter." I can't run to my kids and say, "Hey, you know, white man kicked my ass down. That's why you ain't got no food tonight." I can't say no shit like that.
No.
They expect more from me.
Yeah.
They expect more from me. See, and because they expect more from me, I have to get that example. What do you think, Yoshi? What about being the example as a father?
Just, I have a high standard, and my wife works outside of the home. Okay. I work at home. All right. Me and my wife have an understanding. She noticed my raw talent and my raw skills and know what I can do. My job is to protect and nurture and keep all the energy levels right in this household. I'm talking feng shui. I cook, clean, I maintain, and that love level of nurturing. You can say, Baba, in my role, I switched. When I was growing up, Baba, the most men would say, you work with your hands. You get out there in that field and you work to provide for your house. And I did that for many years. I sacrificed a lot of my time just so I can focus primarily on building a household up. That love, that responsibility. I took hold of that. My wife, when she was pregnant, she didn't have to go out and work. She stayed at home. I didn't want her to be on her feet doing that. But my mother looked at it and said, I worked even when I was pregnant up until the last couple of days. So she was like, man, I wish I had some. I didn't get that option.
Yeah.
I gave my wife an option. In return, she gave me an option.
That's cool. That's cool.
Tight, right? Yeah. So my experience on this is kind of different because I see that my wife is out there working hard, and it hurts me because she have to go out and get it. Yeah. And I make it from here, but I'm making that transition for her to work at home. She just got a master's, Baba.
Great.
My wife is good, man. She got a master's, man. You know how hard that is. I couldn't comprehend that. I mean, as far as education, Baba, how did you go about getting your education and your master's while your kids are in school? And did you, go over them with their work? I mean, how did that bond? How did you manage that?
Well, what I did, I got married when I was 19, and that's the best thing I did. How you doing, Tima DeRiff and Anthony LaSalvia? I got married when I was 19. Yes, sirs. My mother and father said young people don't know how to make it. I said, well, that was you and him. I love y'all, but y'all do your own thing. But see, I was lucky enough because I prayed to God. Give me somebody to love. Because see, I had 3 things going for me. Number one, I was handsome. And I knew I was handsome because girls always wanted to just touch me and kiss me. I blame it on my sister. I knew I was handsome. I knew how to dance. You said I knew how to dance.
Brother had rhythm.
Right? Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. I knew how to make the word stick.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I understood how to make words to make a woman dream. And when a woman dreams, then she's in your arms. And when she's in your arms, you feel that tightness and you know that you're down. Roses are red, violets are blue. Oh, sister, I love you too. Give me a little bit, give me a little something. And then we know that we can be together and move on forward. But anyway, so the thing is this, that I wanted somebody to love, and God brought my wife into my life, my wonderful one.
Right.
And she gave me 50 years of happiness. And see, today people are talking. I don't want to go there because we're going to do a show down the road on that ish. But
yeah,
the thing is this, is that I believe that the family is good. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that black people are doing the right thing, and I believe in the sense is that don't worry about thousands and thousands of people unifying. What you should worry about is that can you unify? Can you unify with your family?
It's a
You
single.
unify,
It starts
right?
home. Yeah.
Right. Can you unify with your wife? Can you unify with your child? You see, and the thing is, this is that if you can gain unity with them, then it's only a matter of time that you're going to gain unity out in the world. Because see, people follow you not based upon what you say, but people follow you based upon your example. Okay.
Yes.
Now dating. Let's get to dating. Dating in the
Go
hood
for it.
was quite interesting. Back in my day, you wanted to have a black book and you wanted to have it full of numbers.
I heard
So
about that. I heard about the Black Book from the Players Club.
yes, sir.
Yeah, the
So
movie. Yeah, go ahead.
so what I would do is that I would I would sometimes, in a sense, we got an L train. If you guys see in the intro, you see the train going on the
Mhm.
track. That's called the L train.
Okay.
Back in the day, just to fill up my black book, I would get on the train and I would see a sister, and then talk to her, get a number, and then put it in the book. But see, that wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. And I'm gonna tell you why it wasn't right, Yoshi.
Go ahead. Why? You was
It
young though,
wasn't.
right? You was young.
Yeah, I was young, but it
You was
wasn't
young.
right
What you was
because the
doing?
fact, in the sense is that then she was expecting me to call her. But I
You
didn't
playing
want.
with their emotions.
Yeah, I was playing with her emotions because I wasn't going to call her. I just wanted to have a book full of numbers. You see, sometimes I call them because see, remember, a woman got to choose you. I don't know about your day, but in my day, a woman had to choose you. In other words, in the sense is that if you talk to a woman, if she didn't want to talk back, then you knew in a sense that what she
Yeah,
didn't want
that's
you.
it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
that-
If she don't make that conversation to bridge the gap, oh nah. You got an option. Keep trying to move on, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, this is that it's very important to understand is that when you're married and when you got a woman, you have to understand that you have to share a lot of yourself. Could you read that what Karen said? Can you see it?
Congratulations to her. I got free education from my job. Once I started college, I just kept going year round. I took advantage of the opportunity.
Right,
There
and
you
that's
go.
what your wife did.
Yeah, she took advantage of the opportunity because we're able to maintain. I'm able to do what I do. She's able to do what she do. We got our breaks. We have an agreement. At first, the family wasn't in agreements with us, but they're not us.
Yeah.
See, my wife always told me this: you ain't marrying my mama, you ain't marrying my daddy, you marrying me. Okay, if I'm good, I'm good.
Right.
I ain't worried about them. They keep them out of our household. It's our home. We're building a new house. We're building this establishment, and I respect that. I didn't. Yeah, I kind of had mixed feelings because me and my wife. This was our first. My wife and my relationship is my first and last relationship.
Mm.
Like major. I really never had a long-term relationship because I was doing what you was doing. I was going around instead of a black book, my cell phone. Man, let me get this number. Let me put this number up in here. Let me put this number. You know what I'm saying? So I was that guy and I was bad because I did a lot of one night stands and I hurt a lot of women. And young women, as you know, when we was growing up. But I heard a lot of them, and I apologize to a lot of them too, because once I realized that it was actually trauma that had me doing that to them, I immediately stopped.
Okay. Let's talk Tuesday at Easy, Dr. Winters. Don't get Yoshimod in trouble. Love y'all. Q. We can't help but get in trouble.
Yeah, that's
trouble
it.
Follows us, baby.
That's
But,
it.
so back in the day, even though I was 19, I had went with a lot of girls. I'm not gonna say that my wife was my first girlfriend. but I would say that she was my last, you know.
At
But
19, you
yeah,
didn't
19,
have.
man. And I had girls on the west side. Let to make a baby. I don't want to be a father, but anyway, that's west side girls. They were kind of young, and most west side girls, you know, they were kind of country. South side girls, they thought they were superior, so they kept their hair all sharp and stuff. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
and so then back in the day, when you dated a girl, when you went with a girl, what you would do is that when you would go over to a girl's house back in my day,
Yeah.
you would get your Temptations records, you would get your Four Tops records, you would get the albums, you know, get your albums. Then you go over to the girl's house. You know, y'all might play a few records where you dance a little, you know, a little do the jerk and all that type of mess
Wow.
and the funky chicken. But then in a sense, you play those slow jams. And
Mm.
then when you would be over the girl's house, you know, y'all play the slow jams, and then, you know, you kind of hold in your arms and then you sing to her, you know.
Ooh, that's tight. Dang.
Cowboys to girls. Doom,
Ooh.
doom, doom, doom. I can't remember the rest. But again, it's
Cowboys and girls.
yes, sir.
Shoot 'em up, bang,
So then you know,
bang.
yes. And because of the fact, in the sense that I could dance and I could do these things. So so it was kind of a lot of fun, you know, and it was fun. But see, when I was dating, you know, I wasn't always expecting to get sex. You know, yeah, your daddy and your uncle. That's all your daddy and your uncle talked about. When you gonna get sex? Clyde, you have a
Pressure.
girlfriend? If
Yeah,
you got
pressure.
a girlfriend, well, hey, when you gonna get sex? They want to hear the story. I'm not telling you it's dad. I'm sorry. You're my old man.
Hold up. So your parent, your dad, asked you like, he asked you when you gonna get some and all that.
They implied it. Him and my uncle.
Really?
Yeah, my uncles. Yeah. Why
Oh,
do
no.
you think there's so many baby mamas out there? See, because your father and uncle implies that if you're not screwing, you must be gay. See, remember in the black community, you know, nobody wants their sons to be gay. Nobody wants their sons to be.
I admit I had that talk with my uncle. I never brought any girls to the house. Never. You know, until I met my wife. She was the first woman I brought to my mother's house.
Yeah.
But I never brought any of my flings to the house because I always looked at them as, you know, that's something you don't bring home. We're having fun. And I remember I asked my uncle. I said, "Hey, can you take me to Foreign Park? That's up in the hood. Can you drop me off at Foreign Park?" He said, "Yeah." I get in the passenger seat. He said, "Yeah." So why you never bring any girls around? I said, "Man, I was uncomfortable." I was like, "What the fuck you mean?" You know, all that's going on in my head. I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Yeah. Why I never seen you with any girls. Why you don't never bring them around?" I said, "Well, your son already got a baby. I'm not, and he's having sex all in his house. I'm not doing that. That's not me. What do you want from me? What you want me to bring? What I got here?" It just made me feel uncomfortable. I told him, "Man, pull over the car. Would you question that? Am I gay or what? Man, don't be questioning if I'm gay." And I felt disrespected. So I told him, "Man, pull over. I'll walk to Foreign Park." And I see what you mean. Yeah. But you didn't feel that way. You didn't feel disrespected or nothing. You for them to question your sexuality.
That was the way of growing up. I understood. Like Marie said, is that you're absolutely right. It's a man thing. Yeah. All ego. Yes, it is all ego.
Yeah.
But the thing is that women, Marie, makes us get this ego. You know, when you got women always saying, "Oh, you pretty, you got pretty eyes and stuff. You know, you're just so handsome. You got muscles. You know, you just, when you hold me, you make me feel so good." It works on your mind. It works on your ego. You know, I was lucky. You know, you're right. You know, only yes, that's what it was. It was ego. And the reason that it was ego is because the fact, in a sense, is that you got these women, you're talking to them, they're making you feel like you're somebody, you know. It was very hard for me. I'm not going to tell a lie. It was very hard for me, family, not to be a gash man. I wanted to be like Yoshimod, you know, screw the whole damn world. And that was it, because I felt that I would have been making my father and my uncles happy, because they didn't want to see me gay. You know, one of my uncles, he was gay, and now he lived in his house, but nobody really brought it up. But your father, your uncle, they couldn't wait until you got your first girlfriend and hopefully you got some sex, because then they felt that you were legitimate. Before then, you were not really a black man. But see, in this whole process, how you doing, Chemistry, Black Magic? Let's talk to Big Q, Quentin. But the whole point is that they feel this way, but they put pressure on you. They put pressure on you to be a user. They put pressure on you to be a gas man. They put pressure on you. That's why I think a lot of brothers, they find a girl and see, usually, let's face it, the fast girls that I grew up with, the girls that you thought who was loose, they wasn't really loose. They had game,
Yeah.
It was a girl in a sense who fell in love. It was a girl who believed the lies that we would tell them. It was a girl in a sense who really believed that somebody cared about them. And then they would get pregnant and have a baby. See, the baby mama is not a fool. The baby mama just fell in love.
Yes.
Took advantage.
I got taken advantage of. I lost my virginity to a young girl when I was 17. And she took it and didn't talk to me after that.
Yeah.
And she went to another light-skinned dude in the same high school. I seen her. She was hopping around, man. And when I was younger, man, look, girl, if you ran track and had them track legs, man, that when that girl did that, I didn't know what to do. But I seen her at school. I didn't know how to talk to her. I was like, what the hell? She was hugged up with another light-skinned dude that favored me. And I was like, what the hell going on here? So that started everything for me. It kind of messed my head up to where I only had these one night stands. You see how that played out? But look, back to what you were saying. All right. My homeboys, I get around them. Man, you remember Pam up in there, man? Yeah, I had her flipped out. Yeah, man.
Don't say that name.
I had
Don't say that name. Don't say that name. Pam's were very free-hearted. I know about 4 or 5 of them. Pam's.
Don't mean to throw your name out there.
Pam's, thank you for all the, and thank you for the,
thank
you for the way you made me feel. Because
Keisha, yeah.
Stop it! Leave Pam alone. Don't talk about Pam. I knew a lot of them.
Hey. But they get together and they start chopping it up with each other and talk about who they did, who this, and then they looking around the room and they go to me. Yeah. What's your stories? Man, everybody I did, you don't know. I mean, I didn't. If you been with her and he been with her, I'm not finna be with her. I'm not. That's not me. Family, man. Family, they put that peer pressure up on you and they make it a joke. They make it seem like knocking down these girls is a joke, man. Like the more you knock down. But look, that same cousin that was joking had a big old boil on his thigh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep doing what you do. Be fast.
Yeah.
And you're going to catch everything fast.
But see, but what a lot of people don't know is that they think that we're so strong. No, we had our hearts broken. I had my heart broken a couple of times, and
Boy,
some girls with some real game, and
they use it.
Create for sure. I could sense that my cousin's priorities regarding sex were out of control when we were teens. He was driven by peer pressure, thinking it was cool to be immoral and treat sex like a contest. You're absolutely right.
That's what it is. Yeah, it was a contest. Yeah.
It was. It was. You did feel it was a contest, but at the same time, you felt it was a contest. You always met this girl or this girl that you like. And see, when I was this is before I joined the football team, but when I was a freshman, sophomore, fine girls, I'm talking to them. I'm really thinking I'm hitting them. I'm really thinking in the sense that I'm really rocking their world. Next thing they know, they quit me over a guy in the band.
Yeah.
And like you said,
that was me. That was me, the trumpet player. Yeah, they went to me. Yeah.
You.
Hey, what you was doing? You was spitting that game. I was like, What he say to you? I make a song out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I may be still experiencing trauma, but anyway, so and then because he like you said, Yoshi,
Yeah,
you feel so funny is that you was with this girl, and now this girl had quit you for the guy in the band,
yeah.
and you thought you had something going, and but a lot of times women don't think that our hearts can be broken. Yes, our hearts can be broken too.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
You had butterflies. You had them butterflies.
Oh,
you had that feeling. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's what that was the fun of when you first fall in love with somebody.
Yeah.
Some people, sadly, family. Some people never get over that. Some people always want to find that feeling, but you can't always find that feeling. You see, you can't always find that feeling. But some people, they spend all their life trying to find it. And so then, so when you're dating, you're out there, and I wasn't really looking to have sex. But
what
if
was
it
you
came,
looking for?
what was I looking for?
Yeah, a good time. What?
I was looking for a good time.
Don't that cost?
It doesn't matter because it's a conversation. See, the whole point is this is that remember back then you make $2 an hour, you was doing good. You see,
I got
you see, I hear people today like Kevin Samuels, the Manosphere, and all these people. They talk about the prize. You know who the prize is? The woman the prize? Is the man the prize? Well, the thing is this is that when I was back in the day when you were dating, you wasn't really looking for a prize. You was trying to get to know somebody because see, you're trying to get to know somebody because who knows, this person would become your partner, would become your wife. And so then you wanted to get to know them. And see, the thing is this, yeah, you want to be friends.
Friendship.
Right, because see, the point is this is that it's easy. I learned when I was young, it's easy to have sex, but because of the fact that certain people I had sex with, quit me later, I knew that sex wasn't the only thing. I knew you had to have some sort of cognition. I wasn't even a cognitivist then. A cognitivist is somebody who thinks about how you connect mentally with people. Use your brain. You think about who and what you are and things like that. But see, even back then I understood though is that I wanted a woman who in a sense I could relate to, a woman in a sense who made me feel good. Because see, when I met my wife, the thing I think that connected us is that I had trauma. I grew up and I told my wife once, I said, what make me a good football player is every time I see that guy come to the hole, when that tackle move, I step into the hole and knock the inch out of that brother. And I just think about how I'm hitting my mama. My wife said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, "I said, well, I just be thinking about him hitting my mama." She said, "Why? What do you think about hitting your mama for?" You see,
right?
And the point is this is that because I felt in the sense that my mother, I felt that she gave love to everybody but me. She gave love to my sisters. Okay. She gave love to my little brothers. And so, my sister came right after me. And when you have a sibling that comes right after you, feel that they're taking away your place, you see. And so then when I talked to my wife, I told her about those things that hurt me growing up. She told me about those things that hurt her. See, the thing that hurt her is that her mother came up from Alabama, and she came up to Chicago. And she you did things back in the 40s and 40s and 50s, I mean, hey, you kind of went out and sold a poutine.
Right. Some yanni. Yeah, yanni was for sale.
Some food, or somebody give you a chicken dinner, then you knew you had to have sex and all that type of stuff.
Right.
But she would always tell my wife that stuff, but it was never her, it was somebody else. Wink, wink.
Hold on. So you never looked at it as tricking?
No,
because you're getting a full conversation out of the deal.
Yeah, because
you're getting to know the person.
Right, because the whole point is this is that it was easy to get sex. And since it was easy to get sex, yeah.
Yeah, because at my age, it was a little harder then because we had to fight TV and you got to match the image. You got to be that person. I wasn't that person. So I just kind of.
Well, the thing is this is that, as I told you, because of the fact that I had a big sister. My big sister would bring the girls all around. The girls always
Oh,
wanted.
wow.
The girls used to always want to use me as a kissing dummy and all that type of shit.
Really?
They used to practice their kisses on me and all that. I'm the little kid.
So y'all
know,
didn't have
so-
kissing cousins. You had actual
Yeah,
friends.
the older girls would kiss on me because they could use me as a little kissing dummy.
Cool.
And
I
how you doing,
had
Timbo? And so
peace.
then I grew up. So I always grew up knowing, in a sense, that I really felt I could have any girl I wanted to, even though a lot of them I never got that I wanted.
I was told I can have any girl I wanted to, although I never got every girl I wanted.
Yeah. And so then, you want to get to know somebody, you may in a sense, you may want to make them your partner, because see, remember back then, well, you wouldn't remember, but back then, a lot of our grandmas and our parents, and our grandmas, they got married because their fathers and mothers made them get married.
Right. I heard that marriage wasn't really about love. It was about what do we get from it? Like, if we come together, we can own this. If we come together, we'll be set. That's why the dad will have to approve to know if he's sending his daughter off to somebody that's gonna hurt, and they have to come back. A parent never want their kids to come back. They want their kids to create their own and then create another set of kids and keep going. But go ahead.
They did, but back in the day when you were dating, it was something that they didn't do. They didn't date. They would hook up. Maybe they would hook up. They might would get a girl pregnant. My father, he used to always talk about jumping in and out of windows down in Mississippi. He was real light skinned, gray eyes. So he had the deal. He was light skinned. He had gray eyes, and so then but most of the time your parents wanted to steer you, especially if you was a woman. They wanted to steer you to marry somebody who you might, in a sense, who could really provide you maybe with a okay lifestyle,
Right.
And so then, but see, with us, because of the fact I think they were forced to do that, they let us have a little bit too much free time. They let you come over people's house. They let you come over. You could come to a girl's house, and a lot of times they would leave you in the living room by themselves and go to sleep or whatever, But see, when my kids started dating, I didn't go to sleep. Your ass is gonna be in the living room, and I was gonna come down every now and then.
Hey, you cock blocker! You cock blocker!
I was a strong cock blocker. But this is it. Is that my wife and I, my kids, around New Year's, they always wanted us to babysit the kids, and so then we didn't want to babysit the kids, and so the day after Christmas, we would always go to Vegas. We'd always go to Vegas. And then we'd come back, be rubbers in the bathroom on the floor and all type of ish. And I said, what the hell are y'all doing in my house? Nothing was here. Then later they said, yeah, Dad, when y'all used to leave, we used to have us a good ass party. I said, oh, what the hell? I wasn't there. I couldn't watch them, But again, back to the dating. So, but then I noticed I was just an observer.
House parties, for real.
I noticed that around about the 90s, people's dating became more transactional. My son, he was he was in over 91. He was in the Navy. So when he was in the Navy, he's over there in the war. He didn't fight in the war. He was just on the ship, ammunition ship. So when he got home, I said, what is your line when you meet a woman? He said, I asked her, is she working? I said, whoa. Back in the day, we didn't ask a woman if she was working because many women didn't have those job opportunities until after the white man, after 68, 69, they wanted to break up the black family. That's when they started giving women more jobs. And so then, but what I noticed by the 90s is that it was really hard to date, you see, because by the 90s, you couldn't take a woman out in the 90s and early 2000s unless you was taking them to, you had to take them to, what was the people taking them to? That restaurant, the Italian restaurant, the Green, whatever.
Olive Garden?
Olive
Yeah,
Garden,
yeah, you gotta go to Olive Garden and Red
and you had to go Red
Lobster.
Lobster, baby. You had to go to Red Lobster by the 90s, early
Hold on,
2000s.
hold on,
If
hold
you,
on, hold
if you
on.
couldn't take a sister, if you couldn't take a sister to Red Lobster, you wasn't ish. They wasn't gonna go out with you. They talked about you. I don't know.
Yep, yeah.
Maybe you was engaged in that. I don't know.
No, you're right about that. But no, I didn't do none of that. I never did what the masses did as far as relationship. Like I tried to do stuff, romantic stuff with my wife and do all that, but my wife is like, nah, I want you. I don't need all that other stuff. I want you. Yeah, yeah. What we got right here? It was rough trying to choose a sister when I was a teen in school. I came from Harlem, and during the aftermath of the crack era, a lot of black females was angry, brokenhearted, and traumatized.
Ah,
That's from Create Soul
can you
Junior.
speak on that? Because I wasn't dating then. Can you speak on that? What was happening in Houston?
Well, in the '90s in Houston, I don't know about crack, but I know about phone calls. So we had a thing. You go up in the green pages, and then you go to like a chat phone line, and then you get on a phone and you call the girl or whatever. Like you can hear them. They'll make like a. So you get on the phone and then you'll hear their presentation or whatever, like introduction, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm da 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 da. I'm from here, da da da." Then you say, "All right, one, I'm a pass. Okay, I'm over here, da da da," and you make your own introduction as well.
Yeah.
So it was almost like phone sex, but you could. It was weird, but I remember we all had that in our phones, and we would call up random chicks and meet and talk about all that. But as far as the traumatized, when I was growing up in our school, they lined us up. All the boys and girls lined up, and they said it was probably 10 of us. They said 6 of y'all will be raped or
What?
have been raped. Yes, yeah, that's what they taught us. They said now the rest of y'all, you may have 3 of y'all in this bunch that may die before y'all become adults, and then the rest of y'all will actually live y'all life out to do what y'all got to do.
What?
Yeah, that's what they taught us. I went to a white school. Let's put Smith Elementary out there and Klinsman Intermediate out there, and
Yeah.
yeah, them 2 schools. So they taught us that, and rape was a major thing to us because a lot of girls that I have dated or have before dating, I talk to as friends, and you get real close to them, and you find out they've been traumatized.
Yeah.
You find out the reason why they're so hot is because they have been like that. So uh, my trauma on that was I was introduced to porn at a young age, very
Mhm.
young, and I didn't know what was going on. I used to steal tapes from my dad. So trauma with in my generation, we had tapes, the XX tapes. We
Mhm.
had the phone sex, the phone talking. Internet was just coming out, so we was able to be on MySpace, and we was able to see pictures. Once the cell phones came out, and we was able to be mobile, now it was the lying and cheating game. Now we have to go to these houses, and we got to figure things out. When your mom come home, when your dad come home, and we're trying to find out what house we could go to chill in and see what girls we could bring to that house. So yeah, like I said before, I don't know about the crack, but I do know about that phone, the XX tapes that came out in that
Yeah.
time where it was a big boom on that. You got to remember when the internet came out, the porn industry boomed. It blew up. So therefore, they was doing a whole lot of that. There's a whole documentary on that. So it was the LimeWire. It was bad for me growing up because when we got World Wide Web, Baba Clyde, like I said, that black book was a thing of the past. I can talk to anybody in Houston. Katie, I'm way in Houston. I'm talking to girls in Katy, the North Side, Fifth Ward. Well, not Fifth Ward. I didn't touch too much of Fifth Ward in South Park, but I did touch a lot of the outskirts like Sugarland and things like that. Yeah. So the internet and World Wide Web was our crack.
Yeah.
I think that brought us too close to not respecting one another, because you got to remember we had a lot of distractions, Baba. You was able, your cousins was your distractions. You had girls over here, football. You had this. That's normal. We had that on top of media, on top of television. You got to remember. Them white folks was teaching us not to love. They was teaching us how to dog women. The music, dating in the music was bad. We had Uncle Luke. Come and pop that say. Hey, pop that That was it, baby. Come on, Dr. Clyde. How you going? Come on, man. Come on.
It was on. Like Karen said they should have had school counselors. Karen. What? I taught for the Chicago Public Schools. Yeah. I taught the Chicago Public Schools in a sense for 46 years. And you're right, Dima. Wow, that's right. It is wow. The things that we had to go through. But the point is this, is that they never, when in Chicago, they never had a counselor that really talked to the kids. The counselor was only there to give the kids tasks, maybe make sure in a sense that the special ed kids, that they were getting their proper education. They didn't have counselors that talked to the people. But I will say this, is that when I used to go and visit people's homes, because we had a lot of times, at my school, I was at Bennett for about 22 years. And so in my school, sometimes we would go out, and when we first got a new class, we would go out and visit their homes. And what I noticed in a lot of homes is that they would have the pornography, the pornographic films. They would have them in the film library with the other movies. You see, they would have them in the film library. They would have them right out there and open. I guess they kids could use it, because see, it was around 2012, 2014. A lot of the girls in middle school, they were becoming homosexual, and I think a lot of that came from the fact is that they could see these movies where there was women on women sex.
And they taught them. Yeah.
That's right. And my granddaughter, she was in a Catholic school, and she said the girls around my daughter heard them talking. Her and my other grandchildren talking. She was talking about at her school how the girls was having a contest to see who could perform the best oral sex on the boys. And and so it got kind of wild. So dating was moving away from getting to know each other. Dating was even moving away from trying to get out and entertain people. Dating was moving into a process in where the kids felt that when you date, you're supposed to have sex.
Yeah.
And the day is even magnified even more. Is that they feel that I'm not spending money on you unless I'm going to get some sex.
Speak on that. Yep. That's it. That's the dating now. I'm sorry to cut you off. That was a clip real quick. I probably know what you're talking about. A dude took this girl out to eat, and he said, "What your daughter doing here? Look, I came to pay for you. I didn't come to pay for her. What is this? I'm trying to, so what we supposed to do after this? I'm trying to go home and hit it. Who you got me mistaken, man." And he got up, got on his phone. He's like this. He's like, "Man, you got me mistaken, man." She think I'm finna pay for her and her daughter, and the daughter, poor thing, looking real sad. She caught up in this tragic mess because the mother believed that if he's gonna pay for the Yanni, then he need to not only pay for this Yanni, but I need to know he could take care of the household. But it's bad because why does it get to that point? How did it get to that point, Baba, to where we're looking at each other as if I pay for it, you do this for me. Where did that come from? Because I read somebody up here, they said something about that's the Caucasians doing that. That's the white folks with that no love stuff. That's that white folks with that porn and that neglect, and now you got everybody eating the exit. You got butt munchers out here. You got and they talking on camera all in a mic. They smoking, and come on, man, think about this. You tell me you eat some butt and you gonna pass me that? Man, you better get, or you eat it and you gonna roll up? Man, hey, the game is twisted. The game has got twisted, Baba. It has got twisted like a joint. It's thrown out. Throw that crap out. Nobody don't want none of that, man. Weird.
I can dig it. Let's take a little interlude and listen to a little music.
Ooh. All right, y'all. We're gonna set the tone real quick, and I want y'all to listen to this tune that I have, and I hope y'all can relate to it. I know y'all can. It's gonna be on stream. What is that called? SoundCloud for a little bit. I'm gonna give it 24 hours on SoundCloud. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Go ahead, Baba.
Okay, let me set it up.
All right. Give you a massage, then you gon' tell me how hard is your job. I'm gonna listen, pay attention. I'm gonna give you full attention. Give you what you ask for. Not only that, I give you more. Ain't no shame my case. Let's be someone. Now dance with me. Let's be someone. Now dance with me. Let's be someone. Now dance with me. Let's be someone.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Right on, right on.
You know, it's again, that if you want to hear that again, go to the Yoshimod has put in the chat the
On SoundCloud. Yeah.
it's on-
Y'all go to SoundCloud. Y'all go check that out. I apologize for the quality. If y'all go on Thin and Now, y'all add, I'm gonna put up the link for the other YouTube page that we have for Then and Now. I want y'all to subscribe to that as well, along with this one. That is where I do the editing for the previous shows and put them up there. And I actually put the actual audio on there, so y'all be able to catch it. I really appreciate y'all for listening to it. The song is called Dance With Me, and it's basically saying that I'm here for you as my wife. I'm here for my wife. I'm here to cater to her. I'm here to help her out. Whatever she need, it is done, because I know she had a hard day at work, and I know she had to deal with a lot of stress and a lot of bull. And that song is one of the songs that I also let my son hear, to let him know that, you know, daddy do love his mother. And that's something that I noticed that it's very hard to share with these kids as well. The chemistry, I love that. The chemistry that we have behind each other, because my wife wasn't no hold hands type of wife. My wife wasn't no let's be in public and show our emotions. My wife is not that kind of person like that, but I asked her to embrace our love around our son. You know, I asked her, thank you, Karen. Your music is always smoothing with a message. Yes, it is. Thank you. Yeah, because yeah. I'm going to put it on my Patreon account as well for everybody. I'm going to put the link up on there as well. But what we didn't see, Baba Clyde, was in movies, the love for family, the relationship that a black woman and a black man have, you know, we got to be so tough, you know, all the time. We have to be tough in front of our kids. And my wife always wanted to show toughness. She's like a reincarnation of your grandmother. You know, hey, I don't want to hear all that crying. You better get yourself up, pick your head up, put your chest out, you know. And that's how my wife is, man. And I had to convince her to love in front of our son, to hold my hand in front of our son. If I kiss you, let me kiss you in front of our son to show him that I love you.
Well,
we don't see that often.
Well, my wife, you know, back in the 60s and 70s, a black man was not supposed to hold hands. A black man was not supposed to hug in public. No, you do not hold hands and you do not hug in public. My wife, she was different. You know, because we got married and we went up to campus, and you know, and she had all these girls always staring at her walk with me. She'd always make me have to hold her hand. I bet that bitch used to be one. I know what you and that bitch did. I don't know. It wasn't me.
No assumptions. Hey, I ask my wife all the time, please keep assumptions out of this. Do not assume nothing, because I am open to you. I will tell you everything. My wife, I could get my wife my phone right now. It's she know the password. We don't have nothing to hide.
Well, the thing is this, is that I was not going to tell my wife about nothing, about no college days, because we were supposed to have been,
right.
Supposed to be me and her. She was at home and I was at university. But the thing is this, so I didn't, you know, I tell you nothing, I tell you no lies. See, when you start questioning, when you start telling, that's when you may tell the wrong thing, is that it's not good to do things like that, you know. And I think that this is very important, you know, is when you think about it. Karen, you're on the case. Your music is always soothing with a message. Yes, it is. But even more than that is that this is the point, is that we need this. We need music with a message, you know.
We do.
Back in the day when I was growing up, it was easy to fall in love. It was easy in a sense to want to be with somebody. But I mean, hey, when Luke came out with you know, pop that, hey, pop that, baby, pop. You know, I mean, come on now.
He changed the frequency. He changed the frequency.
He brought the bedroom dances into the public, you know, into the public. And now we see everybody trying to twerk. Even grandma, she's 57 years old. She got a super shape, look dynamic, and she out there twerking. No, my grandma, when she was 57, she looked like a good old lady.
There you go.
She went around in some house coats and loved us up. Now the grandmas, they 57, 56, they got beautiful shapes. And they want to twerk, baby.
They want to twerk. They want to get down. They want to hear what the young listening to.
Now,
Baba, real quick. I had a question.
go ahead.
What is your thoughts on cheating in dating?
My thoughts on cheating and dating is that
Yeah.
the thing
What
is this
is
is
that?
that
I know you believe in karma.
I believe in karma, but I believe that if you're cheating and dating, you know, you better not get caught, you know, because see, the thing is this is that you know, that I'll put it like this: when I got married,
Mhm.
I told my wife, she said, "Well, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that." I said, "No, baby, we're gonna take each day one day at a time." She
Right.
said, "Okay," but she said, "But Clyde, if you cheat on me," she said, "don't ever ask me for forgiveness because if you cheat on me, you cheated." I said,
Right.
"Well, my daddy cheat, my uncles cheat, everybody cheat. My mama didn't say that. My grandmama didn't say that. Why are you talking this shit?" And she said, "You can call it shit if you wish, but she said if you cheat on me, it's not going to be the same.
Mm.
It's not going to be the same." And so then, therefore, in a sense, you know, you work, you're going a thin line. See,
Yeah.
I made once I got married, I made seeing how much love a black woman could give you as my experiment. That was my experiment. And I felt that my father and I felt that my father and my uncles, you know, my mother and them, they were together for maybe 40, 50, 60 years, whatever. But the point is this is that they didn't have that closeness, they didn't have that tightness. And I think it's because of the fact, in a sense, is that they were cheaters, you know, but how could they help themselves? I mean, how could they help themselves? My daddy, light skin, gray eyes. What could he do? He couldn't help himself. But the thing is this is that it's consequences.
He could have.
It's consequences, you know.
My wife told me, you cheat on me, I'm gonna cut your balls off and hand them to your partner.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah,
I like my nuts.
well,
Go ahead.
your wife like would seem like my wife. They didn't lie, and now
No.
see, and so then
No.
that was just it. But the point is this is that I understood. See, because remember, because see, family, I didn't get married. I didn't get married because I had to. I got married because I wanted to.
Me
I
too.
wanted to. You see, because see, since I had game, I knew that my wife would have been with me. We could have shacked up for 50 years instead of getting married for 50 years.
But what made it different? What made her different that stood out? Because you said you was around here, you know, you had the game, you had the
Yeah.
looks, you had the charm. What made your wife say to you? What was it a feeling that said she's the one at 19?
I come on, man. You after 3 months, you know you want a woman or you don't want her. I didn't say 6 months.
Okay.
I didn't say a year. After 3 months,
Yeah, Baba said 3.
after 3 months, you know. And so then, because of the fact I knew I wanted her, I couldn't stand. I got tired. I couldn't stand going home every night and not having her with me. But the point is this: that I knew that her mother wasn't going to let her marry me until she was 18. You know, even though we had our first child when she was 16. Because see, when she was 16, we had our first child because see, I had to have some sex because I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die a virgin.
Oh yeah. Your hood was corrupted. It was bad. Yeah, they
Oh,
put the
yes.
gun up to your face, and yeah,
Oh,
you had
yeah.
to say you're gonna be a lawyer. I remember all that. Yeah, it was a lot
Yeah.
going on with you.
I-
Yeah.
I got shot
Survival.
at a lot of times. And so then,
Yeah.
I mean, so we had our first child when she was 16.
Okay.
But even then, you know, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to marry her till I got 18. And so then what I did is that I got good grades in school so I could go to university and play football. And I wanted to be a Black history teacher.
Question.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think that's how our population like grew so much because of fear of dying in the hood?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Keep
You
going.
know,
I just
because
want to have
see,
that question.
because when I grew up, it wasn't no grandfathers around. Your
Ooh.
granddaddy got killed either gambling, doing out at the club, drinking somewhere.
Oh.
You know, wasn't no granddaddies around. But see, this generation, like my children, my grandchildren, they know me. You see, and then my children, you know, none of their kids have any kids. Because see, you know, none of their kids have any kids, even though they're in their 20s. So my great grandchildren, they will get to know me maybe if I live long enough. But when I was growing up, it wasn't any granddads around, plenty of grandmas. but no granddads. Because the fact is, most of them got killed. You see,
You're right. I never met my grandfather. You're right.
Yeah.
Both on both sides. Never met him.
Yeah, and so then,
Wow.
so then that was something new. But see, and so then,
man.
but see, the thing is that so when people talk about that they're dating and they're trying to get a transactional thing, okay, I'm giving you this, so you give me some
Right,
more poutine. You know, so that's how they see things today. But see, back in the day, you didn't see that because see, you didn't want a hoe.
No.
You didn't want a hoe. And so then if a girl gave you sex too fast, well, she's a hoe. Well, I'll just hoe her and move on. You see,
I was told hoes back then is different from hoes now because see,
a hoe.
Old hoe said, y'all young hoes don't know how to be hoes. Y'all got all this makeup up. Y'all can't even hug the man y'all hoeing with.
It was the same
y'all
thing.
leaving makeup all on them.
Yeah, but they used to leave that fat girl perfume on your ass. They'd hug you. You know how fat girls have that certain perfume? Well, even the skinny girls would have that perfume when they hug you. They want to hug you and get close and then put it on your neck, hug you around the neck. So you'll be taking that smell home. You better take a bath quick. You had to take a shower. See, women know how to leave a mark on you, man. They know how to leave a mark on you, so that like a lot of women back in the day. I mean, when I was in college and stuff. When I was in college, the first day I got there, I lived in university. I lived in Illinois Residence Hall, and so we used to walk across the cornfield to this other hall where they would have all the parties. They would have it at my dorm too. Mm-hmm. And so then the first time I walked across the cornfield, it was two white people screwing in the field. Damn.
Whoa!
Yes. And at the residence hall, it was white people. They be screwing in the rec room, put a blanket over and just screw. It was just sex. My advisor, he was a brother. He caught all type of venereal diseases.
I was about to say because I didn't think y'all had too many diseases back then.
Oh yeah, because he was doing all those white women. Man, he had about 7-8 venereal diseases.
God damn.
And he had diseases. I don't even know if they let his ass come back down to Mississippi.
That thing should have fell off.
So you had so much sex, and so the girls, when I was in college, they thought you were square if you didn't ask them for sex. I was kind of a little lame when I got up there. So I went over this when I was with this girl, and so I said, let's hurry up and go to the party. She said, well, I got to get dressed. So she's getting undressed and all that type of stuff. And I got up. I was a fool. My father would have whipped my ass. I was a fool. I said, well, I'll see you at the party. You take it too long.
No.
I learned.
You were supposed to watch.
I learned.
You were supposed to put your glasses up and watch.
But see remember, I grew up with my mom and them always talking about Emmett Till. Mm-hmm. You know what happened to Emmett Till down in Mississippi.
Right.
And so when I got to University of Illinois in '69, you'd always hear about these brothers these brothers who were going to jail because the white girls would say that they raped them,
Right. And so that was a white girl that was undressing in front of you.
No, it was a light-skinned girl.
All right. So what made you link that? So you just put it all together like, hey.
I just put it all together. They were all acting horny.
Right.
But I understood. See, I understood in the sense that I understood back then that a woman wanted to F your brains out so that they could dominate you. See. So then I learned a lot from wineheads. So wineheads say, mine, this is it. How you gotta nurture a woman. The way you nurture a woman is that you don't give her that thing all the time. You give her that thing when you get ready, mine.
Oh yeah,
you don't let her. You don't let her. Remember, he said, mine. A woman want to always see something grow, baby. So mine, you got to make sure in the sense that you stay in control. And so when I got down to Illinois, so when these girls, in a sense, just because they was throwing that stuff at me, I'd take it sometimes I wouldn't. Because the point is, I understood that I had control. I understood that the wineheads taught me that's how you control a woman.
Okay, all right, hold on. Let me stop you. Now, you said you was in college, you was kind of lame.
Yeah, I was lame. I was lame that night. After after that, I had to join the crowd. I'll tell the truth now because my wife, she in the Crystal City now, so she know.
Straight
She
up,
knows. She
Mount
said, "Clyde,
Shale.
was you acting
Mount
up down
Shale.
in Illinois?" No. You know, when she would walk past girls making me hold her hand, and she said, "That girl looking at me funny. Do you know her?" No, I don't know her.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
All right. Now, dating, and let's go to back to the cheating part.
Yeah.
My wife, I don't look at porn.
Yeah.
All right. My wife said, "Why would you look at another man's thing? And what make you looking at her? That's disrespectful to me."
Yeah.
And I said, "All right, damn, you right about that. You sure right." So I never had that relationship with my wife where we look at stuff like that. That's not what we do. But it's still considered in a sense of cheating. So there's so I know this guy. He's with his gal. He's dating, and every so often he gets on TikTok, Instagram, and he looks at reels and shorts.
Yeah.
And what he'll do is he'll comment on it, and it'll be girls, twerking and all that other stuff. So she always felt uncomfortable, and she felt like she's competing with the screen. I think men got the dating game wrong as far as pleasure and friendship, like how we talked about. I think some of these women and some of these men are manipulating each other for pleasure, and they're using their spouse only for pleasure, not actually to benefit off of one another, or to see themselves in the future. But you got these BBLs out here. You got all these women that are not or changing their bodies. A lot of that is going on, and to any of the youngsters in this group of men out there that does watches that stuff, I want to put some in y'all ear real quick. Y'all don't know if y'all watching an AI or not. All right. So I'm just gonna throw that out there real quick. So y'all be careful what y'all be looking at on these XXX sites, because y'all don't know what y'all getting into or what y'all attracted to nowadays. Nowadays, Baba, dating is not necessarily a friendship bond, but it's a body bond. And
True.
that hurts. That hurts because they're only going by what they see in front of them. They're not necessarily getting up here. I had a girl I was working with. I was just friends with her, man, but I guess she never had a male friend, Baba. Never had a male friend. And she said, you know what I love about you? I said, "What's that?" She said, "You fuck my mind."
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, that's not what I'm trying to do. I got a wife. Did I not let you know?" So that let me start telling every woman I got a wife, because we don't do the ring thing, because that bond, it's here.
Well,
That's here. That's how I felt. That's how me and my wife both feel. Go ahead.
yeah, like Chemistry Black Magic said, pimping was big in Chicago. Yeah, that's why I learned a lot from the wine heads, because a lot of wine heads used to be pimps, but they once they lost that gab, they had to be wine heads. But see, the thing is this: is that my wife, my wife didn't want me to talk about her at work. I did not go to work and talk about her at work because because these women, in a sense, most of the women I work with, they didn't have husbands, they didn't have a man around, and so then they could get really jealous of you and really angry with you as a man.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I had grown ass women with master's degree. Ooh, look down there, look at him. Ooh, staring at your
Really?
waist. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
These were yes, AKAs, and so then the thing is, because
AKAs, you threw it out there.
well, I mean, AKAs, I love AKAs, okay, but I had a lot of bad principals in my life who were AKAs, and they were kind of mean. They always listened to what white folks told them, and I felt that they hurt the children. But see, when I was in college, I used to go to frat parties, and I used to go to sorority parties. And I would sit around and watch these girls. In a sense, they'd hold a drink, and then they poured a drink, into the plant, and then they'll hold a glass. And so then later, the guys ask them to go upstairs, or they'll take a guy upstairs. Then the next day, now I saw a lot of these girls, and they wasn't drinking this, man. And then the next day they'll say, "Oh, I was drunk when he took me upstairs." I don't even know what happened. Do you know what happened? And I was looking at your ass, and you was not drunk. But see, that's one of the things that you can get a bad. But see, I didn't let this go to my mind. I didn't let this make me feel that all women were like that. I just understood in the senses that these women, in a sense, they were there. They were trying to maybe catch somebody. See, I understood in a sense is that with most women, I'm sorry, ladies, don't get mad at me, but I noticed that most women, when you first go with them, they want to sex you up, But then after they think they got you, then hey, you ain't getting sex as much as you did when you were going with them. You see?
Oh, yeah. You right. God darn it. You sure right about that.
Yeah.
They do. And then they blame it on they was young. That was when we was younger. You're trying to show and prove. You were trying to break me off.
Right. And see, that's why the wineheads taught you is that you don't give sex freely. You don't give sex freely. You gotta because see, like, remember that woman told you that you effed her mind. See, sex is in a woman's mind. Sex is to me physical. But if you're good, you can make sex physical for a woman too. Yeah. But a woman can be satisfied even if it's not really physical satisfaction, but if she's mentally satisfied, and you guys can work on it, because a lot of times, in a sense, people have to grow in terms of sex with their partner. So you have to learn certain things. And so if you be with somebody for a while, then you two may become more compatible, you see.
Raise the vibration. I know that's right.
Yeah, raise the vibration. Yes. But see, the whole thing about dating today is that dating is transactional. Everybody's talking about what they're bringing to the relationship. Yep. And it's usually a material thing. And see, as you said, that when you were trying to get to know your wife, and how you see you're building something, you're building a spiritual relationship. Yeah. See, people don't understand. I was listening to one person, and they was talking about the fact is that when a woman has, in a sense, when a woman has a lot of sex partners, every time that semen enters her body, they were talking about, in a sense, that in a sense leaves a stain, and it does. Because anytime a woman has an orgasm or you have an orgasm, it opens up your chakras. When it opens up your chakras, you exchange genetic material. Yes. That's why sometimes when you've been married a long time, you'll see that your wife or your husband, y'all will start almost favoring.
Yes.
Hopefully if you got a pretty wife, she don't look like your ugly ass.
I know that's right. Hey, I try to stay away from mine so much. Well, man.
And so then you see these women. I look at a lot of YouTube, because I ain't got nothing else to do, luckily. And I see these women go on YouTube, and they talk about the fact that when they were single, they had a lot of sex, and now that they're married, they don't want to have sex with their husbands because they had a lot of sex earlier. But see, that's wrong. You should want to have sex with your mate. But see, the whole point is that's why it's the wrong attitude. People got the wrong attitude. Instead of thinking that dating should be a time to have sex, they should be dating as a time to get to know one another. Yeah. And the thing is this. Go ahead.
No, go. No, I was gonna ask about that as far as the sexual, as far as keeping your partner satisfied. The man needs to talk.
Yeah, you got to talk. You got to talk.
You have to talk.
You have to have that mind. You have to have the mind.
All that non-talking. I worked with plenty of men, man. When they get off work, guess where they go? Not home. They going to the bar. They're trying to escape before they go home.
Yeah.
I never, ever wanted to be in that position to where when I leave work doing a 10-hour shift or 8-hour shift, I don't want to go straight home because I'm uncomfortable. Man, that's cold, man. But come on, go ahead.
But see, it becomes uncomfortable because they don't understand they don't understand that marriage is a friendship. Marriage is friendship first.
It is.
And that's why you want to get to know that person. You want to get to know that person, they get to know you, and then you two can share. You two can have a spirit bond, you know. And
After
see,
3 months,
yeah, 3 months, like
know.
that's why when I see people and they go with people for years, something wrong there.
Yes.
But then what I found out now is that I found out with my grandson, their generation, is they want to hook up, they want to get married, but they don't have the money. People 30 and down, they're not making the money, only making about 40,000 a year, maybe.
Yes. It
Maybe
messed up.
if they got a trade. There's
Y'all
no
was lucky.
factories anymore.
Yeah.
There's no
No.
factories anymore.
Y'all was lucky. Yes.
And so then since there's no factories anymore, these people they don't have the money.
No.
They don't have the money to really get into a relationship because see, at least like with my son, him and his wife, mostly all their wives work. But like one of my sons, him and his wife both work for the post office. So that was $100,000 a year, So they can
Right.
maybe move it. They
can
since
build up.
since he was in the Navy, he could get a house because he could get a loan through the Navy loan, But now when you're making only the average black man, according to statistics,
Yep.
make $31,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so if he's making $31,000 a year, it's hard to hook up with a woman who's making more money because, come on, let's just face it. Let's just face it. Is that the woman is making more money than you, then sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to respect you, but they shouldn't just value you off just the money. They should value you off the fact that you two can have a relationship and build. And that's why nowadays a lot of these people they're dating, but they're not dating to develop partnerships.
No.
They're not dating to learn learn about one another. They're dating to see how they can trick the other person maybe, and then later because the whole point is this. I used to always tell my sons, don't ever go with a hoe, because you go with a hoe, you're gonna marry a hoe. Don't go with a hoe, And the thing is, this is that because if you keep on being with somebody, you may in a sense fall for that person. But if that person is a hoe, they're not going to never be able to really see you as being important to them, because they've been used to, in a sense, being used by people. Because they're used to being used by people, they're not going to know when a real dude wants to give them a good relationship, And
you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
That's what they say, but if you got enough money, she'll pretend. No, but see, I see, this is it. See, I'm different. I see women as being very flexible.
Yes.
I think that because of the fact that a woman cleaves to you,
yes.
then I know for a fact, and you're learning.
Yes, sir.
Let me explain. If you and your wife can become really close and copacetic, anything you want, you will get it. If your wife wants you to have something, you will get it.
True.
So many black men are having negative consequences, and they're having negative consequences because of the fact that what they're doing is that they're going with these women in a sense, and they gave somebody a baby, and then they leave that baby mama. And so you got a baby mama and you got a baby hating your ass.
Yeah.
Why are they hating me? They don't know me. That's why they hate you, because they don't know you.
They don't know you.
A lot of times, that's why a lot of brothers have a very hard time trying to be successful. They have a very hard time trying to get things out of life, because when they were dating, they spent their time trying to be a gash man. What I call a gash man is trying to get as much sex from as many women as possible, and then moving on. Yeah. But the only problem with being a gash man is then you begin to be like a lot of these guys who you see in their 50s under bridges in a tent. And they got kids, but they didn't raise their kids.
Karma real. That karma is real.
Karma is real. See,
that stuff come right back at you.
And it comes back at you. And see, you don't want to have any regret.
No.
See, you don't want to have any regret and say, maybe this is happening to me because I did X. Maybe this is happening to me because I did Y. You see,
right. And
so then you have to, in a sense, you have to be cool, because see, thank you, Karen, you are well.
Karen,
we know you work with families and all that, but you're teaching, and you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Yes, they pretend until they get tired of you or your money runs out. That's it. But the whole point is this: is that you know, like my brother, you know, Mr. Ed, I love him. He's married now, but when he was young, all he did was live off women, you know. And he told me, he said, Clyde, because I want to learn how to rap. So I said, Edward, I want you to teach me how to rap. So he said, meet me at the pool hall on 48 in Indiana.
He taught you how to write bars. You know how to write a 16, Dr. Clyde?
No, I wanted him to teach me how to rap.
Oh, you mean rap to a woman?
Rap to a woman, yeah.
Get your game right. Okay, all right. Let it flow. All right,
so he said, follow me. He said, your first lesson is this.
I can dig it.
You find a teacher,
yeah,
a nurse, or a beautician. You see, they'll always take care of you. Teacher, nurse, or beautician. So if you ever get down on your luck, Clyde, you find, in a sense, a teacher. And or beautician, and then they're gonna take care of you. You know, as long as you can lay that, you know.
You gotta be able to do that.
Yeah. And I'll admit, in a sense, maybe he was right, but that wasn't me.
In the love. Hey, when you was growing, hey, I heard talk of y'all. Remember how you said your son asked a question when he was out. You know, do you have a job? Yeah, do you have a job? Yeah. I was told in your time, y'all used to ask, did she have all her teeth?
No, you could look at the mouth and see that they had teeth or not. But see, you didn't mind women, you know, because I mean, it was like buying a horse. We got that off TV. You didn't want to buy a horse that didn't have teeth.
Oh, that's what that is. All right, teach me. Yeah, where does that come from?
but the point is this: is that most people, you know, because that meant in a sense that they had a good life. You know, that they had money and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But sometimes it can run in your family though. Sometimes it can run in your family, or you just lose your teeth.
Ooh.
Yes.
So that don't mean nothing.
That don't mean nothing. Just like sometimes you can lose your hair.
I know women when they're pregnant, the baby eats all their nutrients, and it takes away from their marrow and everything. Yeah, it really drains them. Yeah. My wife told me that. But you know, I'm gonna give you a pickup line. I heard my uncle. I'm happy I didn't take this from him. He met. We was at a family gathering, and it was a lady he liked, and he walked his way onto her, and he said, "Hey, so what size jeans you wear?"
I wouldn't ask nobody that.
Hey, we
wouldn't ask nobody that.
I have it on camera. We all looked at him like, "What size jeans you wear? What kind of game is that?" And he was like,
he was letting her know what he liked and what he want.
That's what that is. All right, cool.
See,
yeah.
But you know, Karen says that I'm 66 and single. There's nothing wrong with being single.
Nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with being single, because the point is this: is that sometimes, you know, it's what do you want out of life? It's what do you want out of life? Yeah. You see, and the point is this: is that everybody can find happiness in their own way.
Yes.
But the most important thing is that you don't regret. No. You don't want to regret. You don't want to regret.
My mother's single. She don't regret. Right. My mother's single.
That's right.
It's cool.
Like my father. My father, in a sense, is that he was an I love my old man, but he was a hoe. Mm-hmm. And so then, but see, when they got older, and you know, he used to do construction work. I worked with my old man a couple of times, and I used to see him jump through that concrete with his little ass. And you know, I say, damn, you know, what a man. Hey, I thought my father was the strongest man in the world. I knew my father was the strongest man in the world. I knew my father could whip anybody's ass.
No, that's right.
When my father, when he got older and his legs gave out on him, you know, my brother, he was taking care of him. And my mother really treated him real bad for about 4 or 5 years, I guess, to get back at him. And then later she got tired of it. You know, but see, that's the whole point. Why do you want to build up all this animosity?
There you go.
Why do you want to build up all this resentment?
There you go.
And then later, in a sense, when you're able to express that resentment, that don't make you feel any better, because nobody likes hurting the one they love. Like I know my son, I got my sons listening now, fellas. I'm sorry. When I used to whip your ass, it hurt me more than it hurt you.
Oh, hold on. We gonna get into that.
We're gonna do that next week.
We're gonna do that next week now. Come on.
But the point is this: is that
you don't tell me that. You don't tell me that. Talking about it don't hurt me more than it hurt you. Yeah, I'm
But you brought
crying.
that up, you already brought it up earlier when you talked about your son. You
Yep.
hate discipline. You hate
Yep,
discipline.
gotta
him.
discipline him. Yeah, yeah.
And so what I did, I had the paddle of justice, and I would have him bend over, and I would have him get 3 licks. I would give him 3 licks maybe.
Okay.
But the point is this: is that, you know, it's like the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay. And I think, you know, because see, when you got children, when you got boys, sometimes when they get to be a teenager, they want to try you, and you have to sometimes let them know that you still that man.
There you go.
Now, you know, like my father in a sense, he could have got to be 80 years old and he could have hit me in the face with his fist and I wouldn't even move. You see, maybe.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe.
I might move because his ass gonna fall down.
Come on now. Come on. That was in self-defense.
Yeah. No, you know, but that's the whole point is that, you know, it's very important in a sense is that when you're out dating, you have to be more respectful. See, we don't have time in a sense to really think about, you know, the future. A lot of times when you're dating, you think you're gonna always be that guy. You think you're gonna always, you know what I mean? I look in the mirror. I look in the mirror and I look real cool in the mirror. But then when I'm not looking in the mirror and see myself not in the mirror, say, damn, you are. Yeah, that's right. But I shouldn't say that I'm a. Stop it. Yoshi, stop cutting off the mic. I want them to know this is what it was. Is that I'm. But the thing is, this is that, you know, and you know, and that's the whole point. And this is true.
We need our bill. It's bill time.
Karen, thank you. Karen, you're educating us.
Yeah.
Whew. Karen, you're educating us tonight.
Very happy.
And you're educating because you said that I'm very happy because I see that people are living fake lives. They are. A lot of people living fake lives. Yeah. I'm so happy that my wife allowed me to be me.
Me too.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to be me.
Yeah.
Because when we first got married, I wanted to be like all the rest of the brothers. I ain't holding your hand. Yeah. I ain't kissing you out in public. I'm not gonna hug you out in public. That looked like a wimp. That looked like a simp. I ain't gonna do no shit like that. But my wife said, you're gonna hold my hand.
You see, I was the opposite. I told you. My wife was, hey, you was my wife. I was
Yin and
yang, baby. Yin and yang. I'm like, come on, babe, hold my hand. She's like, come on, babe. Come on. None of that. No, that's right. You better get away from me.
You did not see no brothers holding no hands in those 60s and 70s.
My wife old school. Man. She old school.
But then what happened is that by the 80s, when you went out, they used to have I grew up after I left Urbana, I went back to Chicago. So we would have these you know, they would have these parties downtown. And you know, and the women, man, would come to the parties in dresses that was see-through with no underwear on.
Okay, all right. Now we're getting into the part where
this was the 80s.
The women will say, I remember early, I remember, I'm born in 80s, but early 90s, I remember women had a problem with men. You say, well, I wouldn't treat you like a hoe if you didn't dress like a hoe. Yeah. How am I supposed to know? You ain't, because the men want to touch. They see it and they say, ooh.
Yeah. And yeah. And you know, when you see these old dames, I'm gonna tell a secret on you old ladies now.
Ooh.
When you see these old ladies,
I smell Elizabeth Taylor perfume. Hold on, I smell Elizabeth Taylor White Diamond. I smell White Diamond all in there all of a sudden. Go ahead, Baba. When you see these old women with these license plates that have 2 to 3 X's on them, they be telling you what it's all about. They just old now, but they got those 2 or 3 X's because back in the day, they was lightning in a bottle. Trap.
Lightning in a bottle, yes. man. Because see, when I, the 70s was the 70s was free sex.
It's
You know,
fruitful.
and because it was free sex, people felt that you're just supposed to screw all over the place, just screw, 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 screw.
Yeah.
But those wineheads taught me, Clyde,
Mm-mm.
you got to. They said a woman always want to see a rise in you, and the way they get a rise in you, either one, they want to see you get an erection, or two, they want you to argue with them. You see, you had to get an erection or argue with you, one or the other. And then
I don't want to.
when you get married, man, come on now. When you get married, a lot of times your wife want to have argument, and damn well you do not feel like no argument because you watch all games.
We're the opposite. We're the opposite. We're the opposite. I'm the argument. I'm the one tripping over here, man. It's me. I'm yearning for her love. I'm just trying to spark up something so we could talk sometime. I be tripping, so I tell her. I say, yeah, I only said that because I miss you, right? Yeah, I know. We shouldn't be arguing, but babe, we haven't been talking. I don't know how to. Yeah, I get like that sometime. That was early me, the younger me. But yeah,
we cool now. With a woman, I don't care if she get to be 100 years old, she's gonna still pick an argument because she want to see a rise in you. So the older you get, when you can't get an erection, she gonna want to argue.
Oh God, dang! Oh man, when I can't
she's gonna want to see a rise.
Oh,
women like to see a rise. That's why when you go on a date, when you go on a date, that woman is looking really. Most of the time you go on a date, that woman is looking really good. She dressed real sexy. She wearing her used to be Sunday go to meeting. Well, nobody dress up going to church now. She put on a Sunday go to meeting.
Sunday go to meeting.
Sunday go to meeting clothes. You say, damn, whoa,
she's a bad mama jamma, just as fine as she can be. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that's what you be looking for. But the thing is this: is that it has to be in a sense where you understand though is that you want to be able in a sense to be able to show like one of the reasons why people used to like to go to parties and slow jam. It was kind of like what Create
Soul Junior.
Could you say that? Could you read it?
It says, yes, I know how it is when a woman has wanted to see a rise in me. In my teens, it was females wanting to lift her skirt, sit down and grind on my lap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that. The grind time. This must be in the 90s, the 90s, mid 90s.
It was the same thing in the 60s. The only thing is that when I went to college, when I was at Illinois, the people from Philadelphia, they used to call it Philly Rock, and and they would get out there and they would grind cool, man. And I mean, damn.
What?
When I was at Illinois, the students came from Chicago, Philadelphia, and East St. Louis. And it was just that drive and stuff. But see, but like I said, back in the day, grinding didn't mean that much. That was just in a sense something that you did, But it wasn't. You didn't say that. Oh, that girl's a hoe because y'all was grinding. That was just dancing. But see, nowadays, in a sense, we have all these false pretenses.
Yes.
And I think that it's very hard, for people to date because people it's hard for them to date today because it's hard for them to be able to be themselves.
There you go. Be themselves. Right. Oh, that's the best. Yeah.
But who are you?
Yeah. Who are you?
I learned early in high school. That I was Clyde Winters. But everybody knew who I was. The girls knew who I was, but the girls had a picture in their mind of who I was. That wasn't me.
Right.
Some of the fellas had a picture in their mind of me. Yeah. That wasn't me. See, most of the time, people don't really want to know who you are.
Right.
But people develop ideas about who they think you are.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. Hey, quick question.
Go ahead.
You ever had like one of your homies around you and they carried like a black bag It's like that nightcap bag where they have like it's like a bag. They put their toothbrush in it. They put their
No.
clippers. No, you see, I knew players like that. My cousin was a player, right? So my cousin, he used to have many women, right?
Yeah.
And he used to always carry this black bag, right? And this black bag was like, I can freshen up at your house bag. I ain't gotta go home and freshen up. I ain't gotta. So he'll have everything in that bag. So after he do his duty and please that booty, he getting in that bag, freshen up, get himself right, put his jewelry on, get himself looking, brush his teeth, everything good to go. Yeah. So that black bag, I went in that black bag one time. It had a cassette tape in there. He knew how to keep the
What?
mood. Hell yeah, he knew how to keep the mood. A toothbrush, some Q-tips, a bad towel, his own bar of soap, some lotion, and some goddamn cologne to top it on off. Yeah, that black bag, that goddamn black bag.
You know, well, like the only thing that I did back then, and what I told my sons, I said, always keep a rubber in your wallet. You know, make sure you always have a
keep
fresh rubber in your wallet.
Yes,
You can get whatever kind you want, but always carry a rubber.
Yes,
You know, I'm not gonna tell a lie
that's true.
when my kids got when my kids got old enough, you know, it was important for them. I had to talk with them.
Yeah.
And I said, hell, you got to get some rubbers. I said that don't ever tell me that you got somebody pregnant. I said, I don't want none of y'all to come and tell me that y'all are father out of wedlock. And I said, I do not want you to have a child out of wedlock, because if you have a child out of wedlock, that lady might not let me see my grandbaby. So I said, you always carry a rubber. You always wear a rubber, you know. Like Mr. Sharp. How you doing, Mr. Sharp?
What's up, Brother Sharp?
King of Dreams. What up, though? You know, but Mr. Sharp, can you read that, please?
It says, I wish I had a better sense of self early on.
Don't we all?
Ooh, I know that's right.
Don't we all?
What? I would have stopped a lot of stuff. Hey, it's a lot of things I would have changed. Yeah.
But I think isn't that the fun of growing up?
It is.
It is kind of the fun of growing up, you know.
It makes you counterattack your children, like how you did, like what you said. I think what got me to venture off into a lot of the mistakes that I have did on my own, as far as my sexual adventures, I think it was boredism. I was bored. I was just bored out my mind. I didn't. I found something to do. So I think if the parents out there, if they know that their kids are in their teens, and you know that their hormones is kicking in, and they may have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, always put yourself in. Be a part of their life. Never exclude yourself. Be a part.
Right.
Like how Dr. Clyde Winters say, he gave his son advice. Hey man, put that rubber in your wallet. Always have a rubber in your wallet. Protect yourself. That's what you got to do. If you don't protect yourself, then hey, you gonna get screwed out here. Let me give you the game that you may get from one of your little knucklehead partners. I want to tell you what's right first before you leave this house, before you get game from somebody else that don't even care about you.
I look at all these basketball players,
and
they spend mostly all their money on child support. Oh, I want to feel it. Get the hell out of here. Why you want to feel it? You want to have some birth control. Create some junior. What did he say? My dad stuffed a surprise supply of rubbers in a college pamphlet when we both went to visit my college on the first day. I think he senses I was entering a new stage as a young man. That's right. Yeah. When you go into college, they're gonna throw that thing at you, baby. But the point is that it's you have to still have control. And see, this is the thing that I hate about men today. Is most men today, they don't know how to have self-control. They don't know how, in a sense, just like nowadays, if you want to have sex with a woman, you have to ask her and you have to get her permission and have her sign a sheet of paper. I said we could have sex. And if I say stop after you get butt naked and I still got on my clothes, you better stop. Back in the day, man, I don't know about other guys, but you never asked a woman to have sex. You didn't never ask your wife, could y'all have sex? You had to kind of work up to it. You had to kind of work up to it. That's why you had to, in a sense, have some sort of pre kissing or whatever.
It still works.
if you asked your wife, and you
Foreplay.
definitely if you asked a girl in the street, could we do it? Could I have sex? No. No.
I learned to just do it.
Yeah.
When I was younger, instead of asking, I was that guy that was like,
But now
we
that's against the
talking.
law.
And it's
That's
against, yeah, it's
right.
against. See, back then, when I was growing up, it was like, we just talk, and if I whip it out and she's like cool with it, you're like, okay. But if I whip it out and it's not cool, I just put it back up and be like, all right, we ain't gonna do that. You
Yeah,
know, but
well, like,
see, that's bad, exposing yourself. But you got to remember what happened to me. You know, how did I become this way? You know, why did I act that way? You know, it all led back to what happened. I told you earlier. You
that's
know,
right.
but I feel
You
you
know,
on
one
that,
day,
Clyde.
one day, you know, one day we had to share our biographies with people. Maybe one day
Please.
we'll let them know a little bit about our lives
I know
and
that's
how
right.
how we got to be who we were.
I
But you
know that's
know,
right. One day
this is
soon.
so true. And Mr. Sharp, could you read
Mr.
this,
Sharp.
please? Could you read it?
Not much has changed in that regard. I think you just say what you mean.
That's right. Say
Say
what you
say
want.
what you mean. Say what you
That's
want.
right.
That's being yourself, but don't be too blunt.
Yeah. But now,
Learn. Yeah, go ahead.
but nowadays people don't know how to say what they mean. They don't know
No,
how
they
to
don't.
really.
They
They
don't
don't know
know
how to really share because
expression.
yeah. See. Back in the day, when you had sex with a woman, you felt that she was giving you something. See, and that's something very precious. A lot of people
Right.
today, they don't think that sex is precious. Sex is
Oh,
precious. You
they just
know,
throwing it like
that's why
animals.
every time every time I think about the fact that I met that so many people get abortions. Every time I think about the fact that if my wife didn't want to give me children, where would I be today? I'd be like some of those guys up under the bridge living in a tent, you see?
Yeah.
But I'm not living in a tent. I'm not under a bridge. You know, my kids, they call me every now and then. I'm a Sagittarius. They know I don't hardly like to talk on the telephone. So so they know they'd be lucky if I do talk. But the point is this is that they do call me, you know,
Right?
like every Thursday, two of my sons call me every Thursday.
That's
And
tight.
we talk for a little while, and they're both on the line. And then, you know, so they call me, we talk, my daughter and I, we talk. And so the thing is, this is that we talk. And I said that
Right.
I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky
Yes.
that my
Yes.
wife gifted me. That's right.
Yes.
She
That's a
gifted me.
gift. It's
Yeah.
a gift. You going that what came. I see my son being born, Baba. Just I cried so much, man. When my baby head came out, man, I feel you. Let's say chemistry, black magic say most men lose interest 0.35 nanoseconds immediately after sex. Thank you for saying most men, not all. Yeah,
That's right,
yeah.
chemistry, not all,
Most,
because
not all.
it's usually 25%, it's 25 seconds.
Yeah.
But the thing is this is that I'm going to keep my eyes open and try to talk. I'm going to keep talking. But
Hey, she
yeah,
relaxed you so much. You're like,
no, you can't do that. No, you can't do like that. Your woman gonna get upset. You gotta,
nah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, you know, 'cause
better
they
wait.
ready to talk. You
Remember,
know,
I
you
told
ready
you
to
we the
speak.
opposite, right? I keep saying we the opposite. I'm up.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
yeah. She ain't want all that talk. I'm like, hey, so she's like, say,
Well,
God dang, she's snoring on me already. God
well, you're
dang,
doing
baby.
something right then, man.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
I know that's right. Hey.
But you know,
hey.
but dating is a tough thing, and I
Yes, it's
think that
tough.
dating, except for the fact nowadays that people want to feel that you got to have sex whenever you date,
Yeah,
or
that's
if
bad.
people feel that they got to spend money on you, they got to
Yeah,
get something out of it.
that's bad.
To me, that's wrong because you don't get to know people,
No.
and I think you know, I'll tell any woman is that if you're going with a guy, you got to make him talk to you. Because see, if you make a man talk to you, he's going to throw down his fences.
Yep.
And so most of the time, most men want to be quiet because they don't want you to get to know them. Because see, when you get to know them, and you get to know a man by getting into their brain, that's right. getting into their mind. Because see, when a man has to communicate with you realistically, when a man has to communicate with you honestly, and therefore, in a sense, you can see how you can have a relationship. You can build a partnership.
Yes, a partnership. Unity, like we said before. Unity, unify.
You know.
Yes.
And next, thank you guys for coming up. Yoshi, do you want to tell them about next week's show?
Oh, absolutely. Next week's show is going to be about straight up butt whoopings. Then and now. From switches to belts to, we going in, we're going to talk about the power of that ass whooping. We're going to talk about what it does, where it comes from, where it's going. What do we need it now? Is it lacking? Is it in? Is it out? When did it become bad? When did it become wrong? I mean, all that. We're gonna talk about it all because we're both fathers and we both had the discipline, and I got discipline myself. So that's what next week's show gonna be discussing, Baba Clyde, and to the whole community. Yeah, we in here. We're gonna talk about some. Yeah.
So again, I want to thank everybody for coming this week, and I want to thank you guys, especially you guys in the chat.
Yeah, thank y'all in the chat, everybody.
Thank you so much for bringing up
dreams. What's up?
And letting us know things. And Karen says, "Oh my God, doctor is crazy." Yes, I am crazy. Crazy about you guys.
Yes,
crazy about you guys.
Love y'all.
You guys come and you guys make the show easy because we're talking about then and now. And when you share with us, the thing that happens in your life, that helps us in a sense to really be ready. That helps us to be able, in a sense, to understand what life is all about. It helps us understand how we can go further and further. And the reason that we can go further and further in life is because the fact is that we had to share with each other. And that's why we come here every Sunday to share with you then and now, so that we can kind of make people think. And chat, guys in the chat, you make this show. King of Dreams. Karen,
I know that's right. Appreciate it, King of Dreams.
You guys make the show,
Y'all do. Yes. Love y'all. Look, hey, that's for y'all, baby. That's for y'all. I'm tapping one more time. That's for y'all, baby. That's for y'all. Love y'all so much. Appreciate it. Raise up the vibrations. Raise up the vibration. Raise that energy up. Raise that kundalini up. Get your chakras right. What we said earlier, get yourself right first. Nas said, how can America fix problems, other people's problems, when they ain't fixed home yet? So let's go back to us. How can we go out and fix any solution if we ain't fixed ourselves yet? How are we going to unite with other people if we can't even unite with our body, spirit, and our soul? If we're not comfortable in our own flesh, if we're not comfortable with opening up to our spouse, if we're not comfortable with telling the truth, if we're not comfortable with acknowledging when something is wrong and standing up against it and bringing forefront the truth, so we can all live in this paradise that we can create, not a lie. Not nothing phony. We don't have to create nothing phony. We don't have to live off anything that's fiction. We don't have to live on that. We live the actual fact. Love one another. This is B1 all day. FBA.
Love.
FBA, baby. B1. Yeah, we up in this. Yeah. Put us first. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I'm with you, Dr. Clyde.
And that's the whole thing, is that it's the love. But it begins with you loving yourself.
Gotta love yourself.
See, and that's why when Karen said that she's single and she's a Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius too. And the thing is that being a Sagittarius, it's kind of hard for us. It's kind of hard for us because, number one, we don't like to talk too much. Number two, people hate us, and they don't know us, but they hate us. Ooh. But the point is that, what you have to understand is that it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with being single. It's nothing wrong with being you. Yes. The most important thing is that if you learn to love you, then you can love others. But it begins with you. And as I said earlier, it doesn't take 40 million Black people being unified. What it takes is you being unified with yourself. And how do we become unified with ourselves? We love ourselves.
Love ourselves.
Tell ourselves we love ourselves,
Yeah.
and then we tell others we love. Sometimes I make a mistake and I'm talking to the people and I'll say I love you when I get off the phone, because my wife, my wonderful one, before she died, she said, Clyde, she got us all together. And this was maybe a year or two before she died. She said,
Right.
Clyde, boys, KK, I want y'all to always, whenever you get off the
Yes.
phone, I want you to say, I love you. She said,
Ooh.
I want you to say I love you every time
Yes.
you get off the phone. And so I have that habit. And so
I
because
gotta
the
have
point
it
is,
too. Me too.
you know, and because the point is that
Yeah.
it's the love within
Yeah.
that we share with others. And so, family, I thank you so much for coming here.
Yes.
I
Thank
feel in the
y'all.
sense that you guys are sharing the love with us. And because you're sharing the love with us, is making us strong.
It
And
is.
please us come next week. If you got a story about that belt, bring it. Good night, everybody. Have a
Good
great
night, y'all. Peace.